So here we have 2017. This is question 3, and the question was, this is what we have here. So we were asked to find two values of x for which this works out, and then give each answer correct to one decimal place. So the first thing I would try, usually when they say correct to one decimal place, we're going to have to use the minus b formula. So we could try get the factors of this, but it's unlikely that we will get the factors because it says correct to one decimal place. So this is probably that we're going to have to use the minus b formula. So we might as well use that because we won't be able to get the factors for this. So this here is the minus b formula. So it's minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And they also give us this, so ax squared plus bx plus c. So ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So the a is the coefficient of the x squared, the b is the coefficient of the x, and then the c is the constant. So if I want to compare that with the function I have, so then the a is 3, a is equal to 3, b is equal to minus 6, and then c is equal to minus 8. So now I just have to plug this in. So minus b, so that'll be minus 6, plus or minus, so b squared will be minus 6 squared minus 4a, which is 3, c, which is minus 8, all over 2a, which is 3. So minus 6 will give me plus 6, plus or minus, so minus 6 squared will be 36, and then we have 4 by 3, which gives us minus 12 by 8, so that will be plus 96, because a minus by a minus gives a minus by a plus will be a minus, so that minus by another minus will be a plus. So 4 by 3 by 8 gives us 96, and then over 6. So then I'm just going to simplify this, so 6 plus or minus, so 36, and 96, so it'll be 132 all over 6. So I'm going to get two answers. So the first one will be 6 plus 132 over 6, and then it'll be 6 minus 132 over 6. So in the first one I get 6 plus 132 over 6, so then I get x is equal to, so they ask correct to one decimal place, so it'll be 2.9, and then if I want to get minus, it'll be, so this is what it'll look like when I plug it into my calculator, and then I just press this button here and I'll get x is equal to minus 0.9. So so the next part is you're asked to find the coordinates of the minimum point of the function. So we have f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x minus 8. So if we want to get the minimum point of the function, so when we hear the words maximum, or maximum slash minimum, these are known as stationary points. Stationary points. So say if we have like a curve here, so a max point is going to be kind of the highest point in that kind of area, so this would be a maximum, and this would be here a minimum. But the thing we know about max and min is that, so say if we derive something, so the derivative, if we derive something, the derivative is also known as the rate of change, is also known as the slope. But at the slope, at max, so here the slope of the tangent to the graph would be positive, but at the max, the slope is going to be 0, and at the min, the slope is going to be 0. So at our max or minimum points, at max slash min points, the slope is equal to 0. So to get a max or minimum point, to get a max or min point, we let the slope, or the derivative, let the derivative equal to 0. So first, So our function was that they gave us was 3x squared minus 6x minus 8. So if we want to derive that, so I would say if we had, for example, x squared and we want to derive that, well, I would call the x my base and the 2 my power. So it'll be the base, which is x, by my power, which is 2, so that'll be 2x, and then the power minus 1, so that'll be x to the power of 1, or just x. But say if we had something like 2x and we want to derive that, well, the power on this is just 1, so it'll be 1 by 2, which will just be 2, and that'll be now 1. The power will be the power minus 1, so it'll be 1 take 1, so it'll be 0. But anything to the power of 0 is just 1, so that'll just give me 2. And say if I have a constant, like say if I had 4x plus 1, well, that'll derive to 4, and if we just have a 1, like a constant, that'll just go to 0, so our derivative here would be 4. So in this case, our base is 3, our power is 2, so it'll be 2 by the base, so 2 by 3, and then the power minus 1, so it'll be x to the power of 1. This here will go so this is x to the power of 1, so that'll just go to the power of 0, which is just 1, and then this 8 will just be 0 when we derive it. So that'll be 6x minus 6. So to get the coordinates of the minimum point, we have to let this equal 0. So we're only going to get 1 point because this is just a linear. But sometimes if we let equal 0, we can get the max or the minimum point. Sometimes we could get both. So we might get a quadratic. But in this case, it's just linear. So we'll just get 1 point. So 6x is going to be equal to 6. So we divide both sides by 6 and we get x is equal to 1. But they didn't just ask us for the x value, they asked us for the coordinates. So we have to sub this back into our original equation. If we sub it back into the slope equation, we'll just get the slope at 1, which we figured out already is 0. So we have to sub in 1 back into our original equation, so it'll be 1 squared minus 6 by 1 minus 8. So that just will be 3 take 6 take 8, and that gives us a value of minus 11. So our point, so our x value was 1, our y value is equal to minus 11, so our coordinates is going to be 1 minus 11. So that is our answer for our minimum point for that question.